What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Destroy coming at you with our Tuesday video where we go over quarterbacks for the week. Um, so, two quarterbacks over 7K, a decent amount of 6K quarterbacks, and a decent amount of 5K quarterbacks, and only a few quarterbacks under 5K that are going to be starters. So, let's talk about the first quarterback on the list, Russell Wilson. That Seattle offense playing against the terrible Atlanta defense. Russell Wilson having a not so good game against Baltimore. Has a really good matchup this week against Atlanta. 7,200, probably one of my favorite quarterbacks this week. Price point, I think it's where it should be. Like I said, great. Probably one of the best matchups, biggest potential. And he can run the ball in Atlanta too. So a lot of run yards to expect there. But love the price point. Really good quarterback, solid play there. Sean Watson, I got to say the same thing. I can see a Aaron Rodgers part two here. Deshaun Watson had some shaky games the last 2 weeks. They beat Kansas City and then they lost to Indianapolis. Both close games decided by one touchdown. That's pretty much how this whole season has been for Houston, except for the Atlanta game. But Oakland just shipped off one of their cornerbacks, starting one at that, so that's even a little more promising for Deshaun Watson. He's still a great play in. His passing potential is higher than Russell Wilson's this week, but Russell Wilson has more of a rushing upside than Deshaun Watson. So I'd probably go Russell Wilson for $100 more, but Deshaun Watson's still a great play here against Oakland. Jared Goff, the Goff Meister, had a great game last week against Atlanta. 2 touchdowns. Didn't hit the 300-yard mark, but did get a rushing touchdown, which helped. Playing against Cincinnati, terrible defense as it is, terrible running defense, terrible passing defense. I could just see the Rams running a little more than they do usually, especially if all 3 running backs are healthy. So Jared Goff is just not one of my favorite quarterbacks ever for fantasy. Still a good matchup. Like I said, it's just the points. The points that he has to get at 6,800 is just really risky. Tom Brady playing against Cleveland's defense. They're going to be home. They're going to get a new weapon in Sanu. So maybe that helps that offense look phenomenal. And it's just Tom Brady. Tom Brady only did get 13 points last night against the Jets, even though they blew him out 33-0. He did not hit the 300-yard marker. But Cleveland's defense is not the Jets' defense. Cleveland has a good defense, but not the Jets. But it's Tom Brady's not somebody that you expect to throw 5 touchdowns and get 400 yards anymore. They just play to win. That's all they do. Josh Allen, another good week for him, playing the worst pass defense in the league. Played Miami this week. I definitely think they underperformed. He does rush the ball, which gives him that potential, but Philly is a good rush defense. But he has 7 touchdowns this season, 7 interceptions, and we know Philly's capable of getting interceptions. But yeah, he's still not one of my favorite plays here. I'd rather go Kyler Murray playing against New Orleans defense, which has looked pretty decent lately. And Kyler Murray is coming off of his worst game of the season by far. Only 104 passing yards against the Giants, and Christian Kirk is in. It just makes me like Kyler Murray that much more. Matt Stafford playing the Giants. We just saw they just held Kyler Murray, but this is Matt Stafford. This is a guy that slings the ball, throws the ball a lot. And if the Giants have a good healthy offense, which is hard to tell nowadays, could pace the game, slow Stafford's offense down, but Matt Stafford's still their passing team, and with Johnson out, maybe they pass a little more. So 6,100 At home, I like Matt Stafford here against a terrible Giants defense. I think they've been clicking, like I said, but I can honestly just see Matt Stafford destroy this defense and have another good week. Matt Ryan questionable. Seattle. Seattle, I just saw right now that they got a trade with Detroit for one of their defensive backs. Besides, Seattle has had a pretty decent defense, and with Matt Ryan possibly not even playing the game, just too much of a risk to pay at 6,000. Teddy Bridgewater, I mean, the guy hasn't looked fantastic, but he hasn't looked terrible. 2 games under 10, one game over 30, and then just 3 average games. They're playing against Arizona. If Kamara is back, they're going to have to pass a little more. Michael Thomas is going to be healthy. Pat Pete is in the game for Arizona, so that helps that defense. But Teddy Bridgewater can also run the ball. I like the matchup there. Not one of my favorites, but I do like the matchup. Jameis Winston against Tennessee. Tennessee just has a really good defense, and we know that Jameis Winston is capable of having a terrible game, which he possibly might against Tennessee, but their offense does look pretty good, so it's hard to say. Another one that's not one of my favorite plays. Daniel Jones, probably one of my favorite plays if he has a healthy offense. 5,800 going against Detroit that just traded away a defensive back. He's looked terrible since that first week of getting in. And he can run the ball. Detroit's got a decent run defense, nowhere near elite, nowhere near even that good, but a decent one. And if he needs to run the ball, I think he can. And 5,800 is a great price point for me to play him. Jimmy Garoppolo getting a new weapon. Playing against Carolina's defense. Carolina has a pretty good defense. They've shown that all season. And San Francisco just hasn't thrown the ball. They don't have that many offensive weapons in the passing game besides George Kittle to really pass the ball. But maybe with that trade, they look a little better. But Carolina's defense is just pretty good. And we have yet to see San Francisco's pass offense do anything spectacular. Carson Wentz playing Buffalo, not my matchup. He's been looking a little sluggish there lately for being one of the most consistent quarterbacks. You look at his last 4 weeks. Actually, look at the whole season. He's had 3 games above 20, 2 close to 20, and then a 12 and a 9. Granted, he did play Dallas. He's played some pretty decent defenses. He's played absolute terrible defenses. It's still not looked good. He's playing a really good defense here, and I just don't like the matchup there to take it. Jacoby Brissett, that game is going to be such a low-scoring game. It's going to be defensive standout, and it's going to be good if you're interested in defenses. Sam Darnold, maybe because of the price point at 5,500, I like him. It's still Jacksonville's defense. Hasn't looked elite since getting rid of Jalen Ramsey, since Jalen Ramsey went down. But yeah, Gardner Minshew, no interest there at all. The Jets defense healthy is just going to be really scary. So not a fan. Phillip Rivers, the price point, that would be, it's my only like with him. He's got 4 games, 4 or 5? 5 games, sorry. 5 games above 20, 1 below 10, and 1 at 11. Playing against the Bears defense at home, but the Bears defense, they don't look that bad. It's just that sorry about that. The Bears offense with Trubisky leading them has just made that defense lose its elite status. They're still a really top 10 defense, but they probably be number 3 if that offense can do what they need to do. Kyle Allen playing San Francisco, no interest at all. Sorry, San Francisco's defense looks just destructive. Scary good. Maybe the only quarterback down here that I would have interest in is Ryan Tannehill. It's not even a lot of interest. I mean, you look what he did against Denver. Just nothing, no points. Chargers does a little better, 23 points for being 4'8". He's 5'1", playing against a terrible terrible. I'm right there. 32nd pass defense. If he could just have an okay game for 5,100, it's a great price. I love the price, love the matchup. Don't love him as much, but like I said, you can't really mess up that bad against Tampa Bay's pass defense. And then Derek Carr, just getting taken out of the game. I don't know. I don't know. Um, One of the most accurate quarterbacks. Accurate quarterbacks last few years. 8 touchdowns, 4 picks. They just added Jones as a weapon. Williams has been out. I think if Williams can get back, that Oakland offense looks good, but they just don't have any elite receivers. Zay Jones isn't an elite receiver. Williams isn't elite either. But he's definitely number one receiver. Being without that has just clearly hurt in their pass game. So interest in Josh Jacobs, not much in Derek Carr, Andy Dalton, Baker Mayfield, Trubisky. Just there's not a lot of love there. Neither for Joe Flacco. That would be it. Matt Schaub's not even worth talking about. So that's it, guys. That's it for quarterbacks this week. Hopefully we have a better week than we did last week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already. And follow us on Twitter. We are also doing NBA DFS, which will start tomorrow. Today is just 2 games late. And there's not much to talk about or give out advice or anything about. So tune in tomorrow. Going to be a double upload. One NFL, one NBA. So make sure to subscribe to make sure you're getting all these videos in your sub box. And thank you guys for watching.